Hello, wonderful people of Rando. Welcome to the SG Daily Link to the Past Randomizer race. Tonight's race is going to be between GFE 12 and Plasma Kappa. My name is Lucian Greeth. I'm going to be your sole commentator tonight. I'm joined by my tracker, Akuhish. Tonight's game mode is going to be Crosskeydropsoup, which is a mode I'm not super familiar with, but getting the basics out of the way, it's going to be cross keys with a starting boots and starting flute, which will help make navigation a whole lot easier, and starting sword. Cross keys, for those unfamiliar, you walk in a door, you end up someplace else. A random house in Kakariko Village, could be Turtle Rock. Entrance to Hyrule Castle, could be Ganon's Tower. Everything is on the table. You can even end up in the Dark World. You walk in a house, Saha's house, do the connector, walk out the other end, end up on Dark Death Mountain. Who knows? The world is our oyster. The final wrinkle, this is also key drop mode, so in addition to the standard key sanity setup, the static keys from enemy drops and pots are also randomized. So you pick up a pot that usually has a key in, say, Swamp Palace, you might find yourself sword. You kill Ball and Chain Guard in front of Zelda Cell, could be 20 rupees, who knows? So that opens up a whole lot of opportunities. We'll see how this seed plays out as we go. Yes, Plasma Cap has the right mentality. Send help, please. Yes, Link to the Past can. Basically, every key that would be static, and say three keys in Mizumire, in the Fishbone Room, the pot right in the Fire Spitter Room, those can be anything now. So you might even see some rooms you don't necessarily see. Like I said, Fishbone Room in Mizumire, not a place you usually go in most standard randomizer modes, but could be our hookshot for all we know. It's definitely complicated. I have zero experience with this mode myself, so I'm interested in seeing where this goes. But it's cross keys with a few extra wrinkles. We should be getting started any moment now. And of course, to add all, like I said earlier, to add to all this, entrance shenanigans. We do have starting boots and flute. I'm not sure if the flute's activated. If it's not, quick trip to Kakariko solves that. I guess we'll probably be finding out within the first minute or so if flute is activated automatically or not. Alright, we are underway. Starting from Sank. That is the key to Hyrule Castle. And Sank's entrance is actually the Dark Pyramid over in Dark World. So that would mean the top of the pyramid would be the drop down into the back of Escape. looks like we have another key on the pyramid ledge for Eastern Palace. And gonna save and quit. Go start from Link's house, and go from there. And there, well, there's the Moon Pearl to go from Sanctuary. So Dark World is all solved, and that answers my flute question. Bonk Rocks outside Link's house, just a the library, which just has bombs, which is nice to have early bombs. Meanwhile, GFE12 does a nice little fake flippers to save some time by going over to the other side of Light World. That is an almost vanilla sick kid. Just ended up next door from where he's supposed to be. Alright, we got our first connector. Plasma Kappa is taking the connector, which is on the inside is Saha's house. Ends up on Death Mountain. Okay, that would mean the back of what would usually be the back of escape is going to be the Kakariko well. Guess we got a flute up on top of Spectacle Rock. Got a dark room. Looks like this is gonna be the old man rescue here that Plasma Kappa has found. GFE gives us a nice little tree pull. Tree pull ends up finding full magic decanters, which is nice to have. Also, some extra cash. Let's say the old man can't run, but he will jump off Death Mountain without a second thought, no problem. It makes you wonder if the lack of dashing is more of a personal problem than anything. Alright, GFE is giving us a look at... Okay, Plasma Kappa has found Palace of Darkness in Death Mountain. Gonna go ahead and take that first check. Free of charge, no keys necessary. Won't be able to do much in Pod right now, but... And there's a Quake Medallion. Meanwhile, GFE finds a small key to Ganon's Tower in the Lost Woods. The Old Man Cave is actually the Lumberjack house. Okay, we got a vanilla fortune teller. Hooray. GFE showing off some game knowledge, knowing that those bonk rocks have guaranteed bombs. Okay, looks like the left side of Zaha's house has another dark room. Let's see if we can figure out which one it is. Oh, he went in. GFE did the old man rescue from the opposite side, so nice job there. GFE is probably going to show us a few things we've seen from Plasma Kappa side with some Death Mountain entrances, West Death Mountain entrances. Plasma Kappa found, Plasma Kappa found what is actually the front end of the Old Man Rescue Cave, so... but Plasma Kappa has found Paradox Cave, so that will unlock some items. Meanwhile, GFE is West Dark World, which also opens up a lot of opportunities for entrance hunting. Plasma Kappa's gonna go and pick up some bombs, running a little low. And he bought the bombs to unlock the bombs. It's burning 50 rupees on that can't feel great, but Rando's gonna Rando. And even more bombs. Alright, we got a small key to Misery Mire, a small key to Ice Palace, and a small key to Misery Mire. So 2 Misery Mire smalls and an Ice Palace small. So it looks like, oh, that's unfortunate. Plasma Kappa has gone to a bit of a dead end at the moment, with that cave connecting to the Hammerpeg cave. Well, we're in the dungeon so far. The only dungeon we have found so far is Pod's Darkness. Meanwhile, Bottle Merchant has the big key to Turtle Rock. Tesora-Dropsoup, the static keys that you find under pots. Oh, GFE's found Thieves Town. I did not catch where he found it. My apologies. But the static keys that are hidden under pots or dropped by guards have been removed and added to the general item pool. So you go and kill Ball and Chain Guard in Hyrule Castle basement, Hyrule Castle dungeon. Could be a hook shot. You go pick up the pot for the small key in Swamp Palace. Could be the Can of Samaria. So all bets are off. It's like Plasma Kappa has found the Hyrule Castle eastern entrance in the Snitch Lady's house. Alright, and we have found Ganon. So Ganon will require a hammer to get to, or Dark World access in the mirror, and the bomb shop right next to it. Palace Darkness and Turtle Rock are red crystals. So that's a little bit of information gathering, nice little bit of knowledge. GFE checks the first 4 of, and Plasma Kappa found the castle tower over on the bush house of Kakariko. GFE checked the first 4 of Thieves Town. Not much else like we've done there without the big keys. Moves on. Going through Skull Woods at the moment. The front of Skull Woods, specifically. Got the bumper ledge there at the chicken house. Or the shop, I should say. Alright, Plasma Cap has found the eastern entrance to Turok. I'm going to try to do some a little bit of clipping hijinks to get to that big chest. Looks like he pulled it off. So right now, Plasma Kappa is out of logic, I believe. So anything Plasma Kappa gets from this little excursion will be out of logic. Meanwhile, GFE-12 finds the Canis Maria in Skull Woods. Be careful of those chain chomps. They, I mean, no matter what way you slice it, those things are going to kill you in one hit, even if he didn't have... Even if he did have better mail. And Plasma, both players dying simultaneously. Yeah, and the fun thing about cross keys, you get that early Dark World access. Some of those Dark World enemies pack a wallop. Most of the enemies do generally at least 2 hearts of damage, so with 3 hearts and no mail upgrades, can definitely make Dark World traversal a bit of a challenge. The race game HUD is a dark room. Looks like Plasma is not interested in seeing which one it is specifically. And we got the bow on the race game, which means we will need the mirror to get access to that bow. And GFE finds the Power Glove in the Waterfall Ferry, which was in what is actually the Thieves Town entrance. So Power Glove opens up some opportunities. Ooh, GFE whiffs on the signpost throw against the Murderdactyl. Unfortunately, he takes an unfortunate death. But the show goes on. Yeah, Murderdactyl, very much living up to his namesake. I think those things do a smooth 3 hearts of damage a hit on green mail. And GFE dead ends into a fairy fountain, so gonna save and quit, backtrack, and see where we go from here. Right, looks like Plasma is heading into Hyrule Castle. See, he's just, yeah, looks like he's just looking for connectors. You know what, GFE 12 is going to put that Power Glove to work and go into the back of Escape, which is actually Kakariko well, with a very nice blue mail, which will help for that Dark World traversal. And a small key to Ice Palace. So, very heavy on the Ice Palace and Mizumire key so far. Again, Tower small key, a small key to Gan's Tower, and the Red Meringue. Yes, that was the right side of Ice Rock Cave. GFE found just a minute ago. So unless you're in the market for a Golden Bee, that's pretty much all value there. GFE 12 gets his big key to Turtle Rock. And GFE12 is going to go into Paradox Cave. He'll get his small hoard of Misery Mire keys. Or no, never mind. Alright, Uncle is the Lumberjack Ledge. Unfortunately, nothing but 10 arrows there, so moving on. GFE gets his pod key. Not a whole lot found yet. We found a few dungeons. GFE has the King of Samaria, which is good. But besides that, not a whole lot of value has been found so far. Plasma Kappa has found the eastern entrance to Desert Palace over the Fairy Fountain by Eastern Palace. Meanwhile, Plasma Kappa is going to head over to Vanilla Eastern Palace and see where that takes him. A heart container, the first one of the game, so a little bit extra health this early in the mode, never hurt anyone. Our GP, I don't know what GP is. Right, Plasma's gonna make a trip into Desert Palace. Meanwhile, GFE is going to take a blind run into the back of Escape. Plasma finds a Hyrule Castle key in the... I believe that's the map chest of Desert Palace. Nothing but a red rupee on the torch. And Plasma, or GFE does have one key, so he will be able to head to the back of Escape. Oh, GP Green Pendant. That, I don't know why that took me so long to register. No, we do not know yet. I don't believe we have found Saha yet to know. Alright, GFE is through to the back of Escape. He's gonna be a little careful. He's running on very little health, so not a lot of room for error. Yes, special thank you. To sort of point out in chat, very big special thanks to Akahish for tracking today. Which, the key, Plasma Kappa found the hammer in the, gambling game. which was, I mean, Motor Cave. But back to what I was saying, special thank you to Aquahish for tracking this game mode, which is not an easy mode to track for. With all these extra keys, you can't count on the keys being in their dungeons anymore. So, very special thank you to him for tracking. Plasma Kappa has found Misery Mire over in the Fairy Fountain in the swamp area. Unfortunately, GFE is one key short of being able to head to the back of Escape. I assume he can go all the way, but I'm just so used to the concept of that rat having a key. Not in this game mode. So GFE is going to turn his attention to the Hyrule Castle dungeons, where he'll at least be able to make 2 checks, with the blue soldier having a check as well as the chest. So see if anything can get value here. Plasma Kappa dead ends into the entrance to Ice Palace. The blue soldier just had a Skull Woods key, nothing of major consequence. That looks like the western part of Hyrule Castle connects to the eastern Dark Lake Hylia. And Plasma Kappa has found blind spots, so there'll be several checks here for him to find some goodies. And meanwhile, GFE has found Hype Cave, so both players finding a bit of a treasure trove. Kappa has found the big key of Thieves Town, which is big. Another heart container. GFE has found a key, the key to Castle Tower. So Plasma's looking relatively healthy. Still only on green nail, but 6 hearts. So can both players can take a little bit more punishment than they could about 20 minutes ago. Yeah, so cross keys is it's definitely a huge, significant step up in complexity compared to your regular open or standard randomizer playthrough. So it can be tough to learn, but we have as always, we have a very helpful community of people willing to help with cross keys. Meanwhile, GFE is going to put his Castle Tower key to use to make a small incursion to Castle Tower, see if he can't pick up a item or 2 along the way. Yeah, I can't overstate enough how supportive and welcoming the randomizer community is to newcomers and veterans. Meanwhile, Plasma Kappa is making his way through Super Bunny Cave. Pick up a couple items there. Meanwhile, GFE has the unenviable task of doing Dark Agus Tower. Finds Bombos. Plasma Kappa finds Bombos, I should be more specific. So we've got all 3 medallions between both players. Plasma Kappa has yet to find his either medallion, while GFE still has Bombos and Quake missing. Speaking of either, the one medallion Plasma Kappa does not have is the key to Turok. GFE finds... Okay, we're back in Kakariko. Alright, green pendant is Ice Palace. Someone's wondering earlier. We now know that Ice Palace is the green pendant. We get the Eastern Palace small key, which, minus the big key, that opens up most of Eastern. Alright, I think this is GFE's first trip into Palace of Darkness. He'll be able to go a little deeper than Plasma Kappa was earlier with that one key. So we'll see if that gives GFE any sort of advantage. Yeah, so now GFE is showing us new information that we didn't know from Plasma Kappa's first trip here. And small key to Thieves Town, so that could... Once Plasma Kappa finds the big key to Thieves Town, which Plasma Kappa found, I can't remember where, but that'll allow for a pretty deep trip there. The big key is Swamp Palace, which is unfortunately one of the non-vital big keys. Alright, Plasma Kappa is dipping the first 4 of these down, and plus one more check. The small key that is in the back of the hallway leading up the blind will have one extra check that Plasma Kappa can check that GFE was not. So both players are scraping a little deeper into dungeons that the others have dipped but not fully explored or not explored too deeply. Alright, found the Pyramid Fairy Room, which has a small key to Ganon's Tower. No, that brings our count to 4 for GFE, so once we find Ganon's Tower, they'll be able to... well, I got excited, but then I realized we already had boots, so... More boots. You move at quadruple speed now with boots. Not really, do not take that to heart. Yes, that's right, Tsura, a boot for each foot. So yeah, if GFE finds Ganon's Tower, GFE will be able to make some pretty significant headway in the Ganon's Tower basement. Well, no, not with the hammer. They'll be able to make some progress, but not a whole lot. No fire rod either, or lamp. Meanwhile, Link's disembodied head summons forth earthquakes to stun Gibdos. Right, GFE has found the eastern entrance to Turd Rock, but with the trusty hookshot, no need for fancy rail clipping, just hookshot right across. Alright, Plasma Kappa has found his Canis Maria in Skull Woods. And that Pokey had a Big T Ice Palace, which having the Canis Maria makes it not as vital, but you can get back from your big chest. Alright, GFE's making his way up to the Chain Chomp room. This is where Plasma Kappa died on his trip. See if maybe GFE can make their way to the Compass room. And Chain Chomps are not playing nice. There they go. Very nicely handled on that Pokey. Those things hit like a freight train. Unfortunately, nothing but a Compass. So GFE's Turtle Rock trip ends here. There's an idea. Add boss randomizer to it. Just randomize everything. Everything. Alright, Plasma Kappa finds his glove in the Waterfall Ferry at Thieves Town. Alright, and GFE's pretty much done everything he can available to him at Turtle Rock for the time being. Meanwhile, Plasma Kappa has found the dam in the bomb hut in Village of Outcasts. GFE getting the information that he's going to need a mirror if he wants that bow. Of course, bows are non-progressive. Or they are progressive, sorry. So there's another bow out there that could just be a lot more accessible. We'll see how that plays out. Right, Cave 45 is a small key to Bismarck. It looks like the western entrance to Turtle Rock is going to be the back of Skull Woods. Alright, let's see where GFE goes next. Gonna put that hookshot to use for East Death Mountain trip. I don't think we've seen these entrances yet. So, okay, GFE has found Swamp Palace in the Fairy Cave Descent. I'm not super up on my terminology for some of the entrances for the rooms. I just heard GFE found the hookshot. Was that in Agus Tower in the dark room, dark maze? Thank you. So yeah, Naki or GFE has a fancy hookshot, but nothing he can use it for is in Logic yet. So that lamp will turn up sooner or later. Alright, GFE hits a dead end, so save and quit, and go from there. GFE12 is Gino from Mario RPG. He has a blue mail, which has turned him red. I think that's Gino. I could be very wrong. It looked like Gino in the basic sprite. Still not a whole lot of progression unlocked so far in the seed, so something's gonna turn up sooner or later. Alright, Plasma Kappa gets his blue tunic, so with 7 hearts and blue mail, Plasma Kappa is good for the time being, health-wise. Plasma Kappa's gonna get some Gans Tower small keys, and a red meringue, which GFE's already found earlier. Alright, GFE found Eastern Palace with, I don't think GFE found the Eastern Small yet, so... No, he did. Never mind, I see it on the screen. I forgot the key tracker we have is a big key to Desert Palace, which is nice. The key tracker we're using doesn't have the ability to, because Eastern Palace just has one static key, so GFE has had that key all along. It's just we can't display it on the tracker since it's static and just generally assumed to not be an issue. Meanwhile, Plasma Kappa is making his way to Laser Bridge. Nice little 4 item pickups there. So we watch the silhouette of Link's disembodied head travel through darkness, which is a pretty metal concept. Put that on a cover album. GFE found a second key to Castle Tower. Plasma Kappa's found the Thieves Town, Thieves Town small key. Plasma's going to be careful here. So that's a bit of a trip back if it takes a death here. But players at this skill level, they know their laser skips. They're not intimidated by the giant laser eyeballs. I thought I saw a rod. Yes, GFE has found a fire rod, which is also out of logic. So GFE is finding a whole bunch of goodies, but no lamp to put them in logic. Yes, meanwhile, Plasma Kappa found the Swamp Palace small key, so that opens up some good possibilities there. Plasma Kappa found the flippers on Laser Bridge. Opens up a few checks. Think Plasma Kappa has access to... No, GFE has the key to the Swamp Small. I think this is GFE's first trip into Desert Palace, if I'm not mistaken. Meanwhile, Plasma's gonna put those flippers to work. Check out the hobo and probably the gratitude charity berry. We have many names for it. I believe desert should be clearable. Well, no, the small keys. I keep assuming regular key logic. Alright, so from GFE's trip earlier into Hyrule Castle, that will put the back of escape or the rest of the way into Zelda's cell in launching for him. Looks like Plasma's going to give us a look at the Zora area. The world's worst business model. Hide your business behind a waterfall. Sure to bring in lots of customers. Oh, we got our first sword upgrade on Zora Ledge. Plasma Kappa finds a Master Sword. Bonus points as Zora gives us a third sword. I was really hoping I'd be right on that. Oh well. Alright, so that's a worthwhile trip for Plasma. Finds himself a sword upgrade. Yeah, the world's most expensive arrows. GFE finds his hammer, so that opens up a lot of opportunities for him. Meanwhile, Plasma is, I think that's the back of Old Man cave Plasma just went through. With that diagonal pattern, I think that's right. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's right. GFE has found Mizumire, a dungeon both players have several keys to. So, should be able to make a pretty deep trip into Mizumire. We'll see the rarely, if ever, visited Fishbone Room, likely, which will usually has a useless key, but this mode could have literally anything else. For those who are new to Rando, the Fishbone Room, we'll see it when we get to it, but it's a room that if you know the layout of Mizumire pretty well, there is almost never any good reason to go there. Meanwhile, Plasma Kappa has found Dim Tower with 5 keys, but no hook shot. But with Pegasus Boots, Plasma Kappa can do some fancy bonk work to make his way around to the Dark Magician Room. Yeah, no fire, so options are relatively limited for Kappa, but he'll be able to make some checks. See some bomb jump sorcery here. Another key to Ganon's Tower on Plasma side. Yeah, so this is the Fishbone Room. If you know Mr. Meyer's layout pretty well in most in like a open or standard randomizer playthrough, there is almost never any good reason to visit this room. And here just has a key to Ice Palace. On Plasma's side, though, he finds a key to the Tower of Hera in the Firebar room of Ganon's Tower. Yes, Ice Palace is our green pendant, so that'll come up when it comes up. Another key to Ice Palace, so it's a whole lot of goodies for Ice Palace. You know, it looks like GFE's setting for a rail clip, which you don't see too often, but it's always cool to show off and do. Saves you a little bit of time, as opposed to taking the long way. You know, Plasma finds a key to Ice Palace. Titan's Mitts. Titan's Mitts are in the randomizer room of Ganon's Tower. So, very important find for Plasma. Very important. Meanwhile, I think GFE's just about run his course on Mr. Meyer without having that big key, which looks like he's taking a Death Warp. So yeah, all that's going to be cut off from Plasma is going to be the Compass room. Oh, but he's going to do Ice Armos the hard way, so that'll be fun. And, well, there's our flute. A bit more exciting under different circumstances, but here it's ho-hum. If you're tuning in, strap in and get comfy, because Plasma's going to be here for just a little while. Armos with the sword is no bueno. Yeah, if my memory serves, I think Keenan Birna makes cleaves right through Armos. Unfortunately, no magic on Plasma side makes that not an option. If my memory serves, I think Boomerang can also lock the Armos Knights out of formation by when they come out of this formation here that Plasma Cap is setting up with. It can, if you keep a nice little quirk to knowing the logic of Armos Knights. If you can keep them from getting the formation coming out of the straight line or from the beginning of the fights, you can keep them from going through their motions. They'll be locked in place, waiting for the final knight to get in formation. So, can make things pretty nice sometimes if you know how to exploit them. Alright, it looks like we're close to wrapping up the fight. Yep, and Armos goes down. Let's see what Plasma is rewarded with. A compass. A key to Ganon's Tower. And the Book of Medora. So we'll see if that plays into the equation. And no GT Big. I think Plasma can still check the Hope Room, and that'll be it for his trip here. Pretty productive trip. Find those Titans Mitts in the randomizer room. Could be game defining play to find and go through this so early. Oh, towel room. Plasma Kappa is going to check the towel room. So this will likely be Plasma's last stop before moving on. Yeah, that was my fault. GFE's giving us a look at Hookshot Cave, which we haven't seen the rest of yet, outside of the bunk chests. Which has a small key to Desert Palace, which I believe puts Desert Palace fully clearable in logic now for GFE 12. If my no, he needs one more key. And a mirror in the tile room of GT. GT is absolutely the place to be. Oh yeah, so yeah, I'm on checking in chat. While it is technically, well, not that it's key clearable, but it is not logical clearable yet because GFE found the fire rod in the dark room of East Palace. So no logical fire source yet for either player. GFE has that fire rod, but it's not logical yet. No, Phantom, that's about it. Yeah, there's a flute. But yeah, you've got pretty much summed up. The reverb on GFE stream gives like the dig game some weird reverb, like phantom sounding effect. Alright, Plasma's giving us our first look at the Meyer area with those Titan Smiths he picked up in Ganon's Tower. See if we find anything fancy here. I didn't catch the medallion for Mr. Meyer's entrance. Yes, flippers were on Laser Bridge. Plasma Captain picks up some red mail to go with all that health, so health-wise, Plasma is sitting pretty at 10 hearts and red mail. You consider the skill level, Plasma is more than equipped to kill Ganon at this point if it comes to that. An absolute simultaneous piece of heart unlock. I don't know why I'm so impressed by that, but it's just like the exact same frame, halfway across the world, across dimensions. Okay, so it's Bombos for the Mr. Meyer entrance, so Plasma's likely gonna unlock that while he's here. Plasma picks up the small key to Swamp Palace. So for Plasma doesn't have his hookshot yet, so Swamp Palace is not clearable yet. I cannot remember what either was, to be honest. For those just joining, I'm doing solo comps tonight, so I do have some gaps in my knowledge of both players at any given moment. And GFE is a hook shot, which was in the Aga Tower, which is a nice pickup, but it's not in Logic. Neither player's found the lamp yet, so both the Fire Rod and the hook shots that GFE has are not logical. Thank you, Lana, for clarifying where the either medallion was. Yeah, like I said, I'm commentating solo. I've got a couple gaps in my knowledge here. Plasma has found Tower of Hera, which no big key, but having that hook shot can skip right up to Mordorm. So this might be our first dungeon clear. Thank you, Lana. Nope, no clear of Tower of Hera yet. Technically not logical without that big key, but it is perfectly doable. But it looks like Plasma's erring on the side of caution. Right. Yeah, Plasma does have the hook shot. Disregard. Alright, GFE is in Blind's Hut, which has the... coincidentally has the big key of these down. Is Blind's Hut hiding something, perhaps? Let's have a deep discussion of the lore, finding the big key of Thieves Town in Blind's Hut. I appreciate the support, Tesura and Lana. Plasma now with that mirror though is going to have access to that bow that we have has been teasing us since about maybe 10-15 minutes into this seed. So that bow is gonna put Armos and Pod into eventual logic. Alright, so we got our red crystals at Turok and Desert, which we already knew. Saha, our bomb shop guy, told us that. Alright, Plasma is doing the turn in. With a small key to Pod, so Pod small keys never hurt anyone in cross keys or key sanity. Pod smalls are always welcome. Yeah, and looking at your message chat, sir. Yes, I've been in the community now for maybe about better part of this whole year. In terms of competitive gaming, there's not been a more wholesome community that I've seen that's more willing to uplift and support players with questions, new players, veteran players, anyone who needs help. If you're new to this, around, I don't know, there's no official announcement for next year yet, but the past 3 years, the Go Mode podcast hosts a yearly mentor tournament that pairs you up with experienced runners who help you learn some of the ins and outs of the game. So keep an eye on that. I guess that's also a free plug for the Go Mode podcast for Tim, Perfy, and Dante. But yeah, definitely check out that mentor tournament. I think May is usually when they host it. Or May-ish. Alright, Plasma's putting that Master Sword to work with a unfortunate 5 rupee pickup from the Bottomless Tablet, so nothing consequence there. Yeah, Smith Chain turned out to be a whole lot of nothing. Still missing a few vital pieces of progression outside of keys. Plasma is missing the Ether Medallion, which I think we established the entrance to Turtle Rock is the Ice Palace. He'll need it for that. On top of that, Fire Rod and Ice Rod. Fire Rod we know is in the Eastern Palace, but it's not in Logic without the lamp, so the lamp is technically a progression item to put the rest of this seed in the Logic. Then we'll of course need that Ice Rod for Trinex at some point. Yeah, so honestly, once either player finds the lamp, that's gonna open up a whole lot. Meanwhile, GFE has found his way into Ganon's Tower. We're gonna find the veritable treasure trove of items that resides within, including the mirror, the Titan's Mitts, and the Book of Medora. Yeah, so right now the lamp is kind of the missing link to this seed. So once the lamp shows up, it's gonna put a whole lot in perspective. Yes, GFE will be able to use his fire rod that he got from Eastern Palace's Dark Room to make his way to the Compass Room. So who knows? Maybe we'll find even more progression in the Compass Room. And on the flip side, if Plasma felt so inclined, he could make the trip up the gauntlet with that bow of his. But I doubt that's a priority at this particular moment. Alright, let's see what the Compass Room gives us. This is going to be new information for everyone, so the big key to Tower of Hera. The small key to Dark Palace, which is always nice. So yeah, big key to Tower of Hera, which puts Tower of Hera in Logic now for GFE. No, it doesn't, because the Fire Rod's not in Logic, so never mind. It does make Tower of Hera clearable for GFE, but it is not a logical clear. GFE, of course, will have a bit of an easier time navigating the west side of Ganon's Tower basement with that hook shot than Plasma did. Plasma finds a small key to Swamp Palace. And while we got a little bit of break in action, feel free to, we're about a little over an hour into this, feel free to follow both our racers, Plasma Kappa and GFE12. Feel free to follow my tracker, Akuhish, and feel free to follow myself if you feel so inclined. Also feel free to follow the Speed Gaming Network, Speed Gaming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Speed Gaming is in languages of your choice, French, German, Spanish, several others I'm likely missing. for daily links to the past content and other games as well. I think they host like Metroid Fusion, a handful of Metroid games. Alright, GFE is about to find his Titan's Mitts, which is going to open up a lot of the game to him. Plasma showing us a cave we haven't seen yet, which is Bonk Rocks, which is the big key to GT. So Plasma can make the gauntlet climb now. I know I said that about 5 minutes ago. I was wrong apparently. Yeah, VVI, Z, RRD. Ganon Sour has a treasure trove of items, including a useless flute. And GFE gets to go through the, well, no, Master Sword doesn't make any difference on Armos. But GFE does have Birna, which does just cleave right through Armos. That's going to be a lot nicer than what Plasma had to work with. Yes, the big chest as well for Ganon Sour Basement. Armos being a big old dumb doofus and jumping right into the sword every time. You dumb idiot. GFE 12 finds the Book of Medora. Speaking of the Book of Medora, Plasma Kappa is checking the Ether tablet, which is a red rupee, so it combines 25 rupees from both tablets, which is nice, I guess. Buy yourself something nice. Okay. That's probably a lot easier to pronounce than what I attempted. No, the flippers were on Laser Bridge, Sora. A couple checks I don't think we've seen yet from GFE. Meanwhile, Plasma Cap has found the back of Skull Woods, which I believe... No fire source. Never mind. I keep jumping the gun on getting a dungeon clear. Plasma Kappa has found the silver arrows, which will be nice for the eventual Ganon fight. A little bit of a health refill for GFE there. The drop soup in the title Amalas, the static keys that you find underneath pots dropped by enemies have been removed and dumped into the general item pool. So you kill, say, the first guard in the Hyrule Castle dungeon, that guard will drop anything. It can be any item. Same thing for the ball and chain guard, or picking up the pot in Swamp Palace before the floodgates. That key's been removed into the general item pool. Also, starting flute and starting boots and starting sword, which I think is where the soup part of it comes into play. I believe. Don't quote me on that. So just like you see on GFE 12 side, generally there would be a key underneath that pot, but since the key's been removed and dumped into the general item pool, he just found 3 bombs instead. That key is somewhere. Yes, it is also key sanity. So yeah, the keys are completely removed from any dungeon logic routing. So yes, it is cross keys with key sandy, with pot shuffle, with probably a whole bunch of other shuffles in there as well, but not really. That's it. All right, Plasma has made his way to the back of Escape. Let's see if Plasma, being in the neighborhood of Hyrule Castle, chooses to do Castle Tower, which doesn't even factor into this equation because Castle Tower is a whole different location. No boss shuffle. This is entrance shuffle, cross keys. So you can walk in the House of Kakariko, end up in Turtle Rock. Cross world shuffle means you can walk into an entrance in Light World, end up in Dark World. And no boss shuffle. No boss shuffle. Thank you, Zasura. GFE's about to, well, no, unless he splash leads, GFE will be able to see the Master Sword. Meanwhile, Plasma gets his, oh, there's the lamp! So now this gets interesting for Plasma. The Fire Rod and Hookshot are now in logic for Plasma. The Hookshot being in Aga's Tower Dark Maze, and the Fire Rod being in the Dark Room of Eastern Palace. But looks like Plasma is opting to do a full clear of Mizumayo first. Now he's got that lamp going through Dark Mire. Well, Dark Mire. So yeah, I believe we have a clearable. This might be our first dungeon clear. Yeah, and so both. Okay, looks like TFU's trying to flash the lead for that Master Sword. GFE found the Hookshot and Fire Rod out of logic. Ooh, and GFE pulls off the splash lead, so he picks up what is technically an out of logic Master Sword. Out of logic for him, the flippers of course are in Laser Bridge. So yeah, now that Plasma has that lamp, if he finds those Fire Rod and Hookshot, those are perfectly in logic for him. And once we find those, it's that's pretty much good. Well, we need Ice Rod for go mode. So even in cross keys, we get a good old-fashioned Ice Rod hunt. While GFE 12 is going to Mini Moldrum Cave, which I think has a couple goodies in it. Small key to Swamp, which is always good, and the Boomerang, which is the inferior Boomerang. I am 100% willing to fight people on that. Correct. It cannot be fake flippered. You can set up what is a double water walk, which I think Will J. Bradley showed me once. But you can also do something a glitch called Splash Delete, which, without getting super into the technical details, the splash animation is an extra sprite, So what you do is you overload the game with sprites between arrows and bombs or Canisamaria or Boomerang. Basically, you're overloading the game with sprites, so when the game comes time for the game to register the splash sprites, the game's having trouble keeping track of how many sprites could be on the screen. It can't register the splash sprites, and therefore you're swimming because the game can't tell otherwise. So that's, without getting into super nitty gritty, that's my best explanation of what GFE12 just pulled off. Looks like I got a challenger on the inferiority of the blue boomerang from Joss Bleedon. No, Splashly's been around for a hot minute. Yeah, thank you. Professor Render is giving a bit more of a technical explanation than incorrecting some terminology. Yeah, I am by no means an expert at the deeper aspects of this game, especially on the technical side. It's a pretty situational glitch to use. GFE12 sets up the hammer jump, which is always nice to see pulled off. It's a very situational glitch. You don't see it too often, but when you see it, it's always nice to see. While GFE12 is going through the Dark Maze of Pod, yep, so Plasma is sending us towards our first dungeon clear here in the next few minutes. With Silver Arrows, Beatrice is going to melt like butter. Jiffy's gonna. I don't think we've seen that small key from either player yet, so we'll see what that turns out being. Is a small key to the pod, so always nice. All right, and 1 hour and 19. Well, just shy of 1 hour and 20 minutes in, we have our first dungeon clear from Plasma Kappa. I think that merits a GG. Alright, so we'll see if Plasma follows the lamp, which, like I said, once he gets that Fire Rod and Hook Shot, that's going to open up everything but Trinets for him. Alright, so we got the Mire Shed. We haven't seen this from either player yet. Got a small key to Desert Palace, which Desert Palace is now, I believe, clearable in logic. Because now Plasma has that fire source from the lamp. Yeah, we're reaching that point in the Crosskeys game where it's starting to come together. The full picture is starting to come together. So hopefully GFE 12 comes back around to, well, I guess he doesn't need the lantern, because he found the items. It's the lantern would put a lot of it into perspective for him. Okay, Plasma is has found Ice Palace. Meanwhile, GFE is going to go ahead and find his bow over on the race game. And I believe there's no big key found yet, but with Icebreaker, Ice Palace should be clearable for Plasma. Very nice bomb set for the Pen Gator room. It's always really cool to see that pulled off flawlessly. That looks like Plasma's going to go ahead and flip that switch before. I would assume he's going for Icebreaker. No, he's not. Well, he's likely picking up that key drop from that berry before. He might just do Ice Palace Bomb Jump through the rest of the dungeon. We'll see. And Plasma is showing off his mastery of bomb skills. Yeah, it looks like Plasma's just opting to IPBJ, Ice Palace Bomb Jump the way through the rest of the dungeon. And again, it's absolute mastery of bombs. I hadn't thought of using the red boomerang. I've always used the bombs in that room, but the red boomerang should work pretty nice on that. Alright, Plasma finds the final key to Desert Palace. So Desert Palace is fully clearable in logic now for Plasma. And a big key to Hyrule Castle, so that will unlock Zelda's cell. The big key to Hyrule Castle is in a standard randomizer is always going to be on the ball and chain guard, but due to the mode we're playing today, it was anywhere but there. Alright, another pod key for Plasma. I think we're close to having a fully clearable pod. I'm not 100% sure yet. And yet again, just Plasma just showing off, being a big old show off with the bombs, doing a nice little bomb jump across the gap there. Looks like GFE is making his way back to Mothula. So that'll be GFE's first crystal. Well, no key drop. So, Nick's what I just said. And GFE finesses his way past the Dead Rocks. Which I still stand by the notion that Dead Rocks were the worst thing ever created by the Zelda franchise. The good thing about Murderodactyls is that they can die. Well, Dead Rocks can die, but it's all, just like everything else with Dead Rocks, it's extremely dumb. So, not sure what's going on GFE's side here. So that was some Ancilla manipulation? I've never seen anything. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe setting up some. I'm assuming it's Ancilla manipulation, but I don't know to what end. Oh, yes. Okay, I have seen that once in my time. Playing with the Ancilla, like what GFE did earlier with the Splash Leads, it's possible to get some magic back by manipulating that value. I can explain that even less well than I can explain Splash Leads, so that's about as far as I go. Yeah, I have seen that trick exactly once before. I think during SGL. Alright, and Cold Stare has a small key to Ganon's Tower. GFE finds his silver arrows. Yeah, and so GFE using that trick to restore his magic, that is some deep game knowledge he is showing off there. Alright, and the big key to Ganon's Tower. We'll see how long, because Eastern should be fully clearable for Plasma, although he might be opting to hold off due to it being a pendant. That will be where his Fire Rod is. And Agus Tower will have his hook shots, which is stuff we have knowledge of from GFE's side of things. Oh, looks like we're going to Turtle Rock. Do a little... I think we're going to the front of Turtle Rock. Or maybe we're picking up that, the big key chest. Yeah, that appears to be where we're going. We're getting the big key chest and I think the pokey, drop as well. That pokey has the big key to Ice Palace, which, well, the big chest in Ice Palace could have something. Probably doesn't have to leave that behind because of obvious circumstances. Some nice rail clipping by Plasma here. Oh, we haven't seen the back of escape from GFE yet. But unfortunately, not much of note from... Oh, we're getting a pet check. Lucky is one palace. So... See that point? I'm not sure. Yeah, it's, okay, it looks like GF's about to get his flippers, here. Right now. Yeah, I can't really speak to how important that, Swamp Key may or may not be. Yeah, Wizard sums up pretty well. It might be necessary. Who knows? We're only going to find out until we find out. We're not going to find out until we find out. Looks like Plasma is going to opt to... Oh, there's another Swamp Key. Speaking of Swamp Keys. Is that our first bottle from Plasma side? I'm guessing, because he's beeline. Pardon the pun, but he is beelining right to Sick Kid. And looks like GFE is going to give us a full clear of Tower of Hera. Alright, looks like Plasma's going to give us a deeper trip into Pod. Unfortunately, that hook shot is kind of holding him back at the moment. And the Fire Rod. See, even in cross keys, pod keys locked behind pod keys is it's just an inevitability. It's like Jiffy's setting up for the Hera pot, and he pulls it off. Ooh, GFE finds a tempered sword up in the big chest of Tower of Hera. And magic powder. That could be important. But that tempered sword's definitely gonna make life a lot easier for him. Ooh, that's an unfortunate little twist for Plasma. Alright, Moldorm goes down without any hassle, so at 1 hour 36, GFE gets his first crystal, which is another bee in a bottle. This is the bee in the bottle seed. Alright, so let's see where GFE goes from here. Alright, looks like Plasma is setting up for the Hammer Yump with minimal time needed too, so that's really nicely done by him. Yeah, Aki's just pointing out in chat, that Swamp Small on Pedestal really depends on if anything is over on... If Ice Palace is over on the left side, then we've got ourselves a Ped Seed. But as it stands, you would be able to, once Plasma finds his hook shot in Agus Tower, he could take that one key he has and put that towards... Well, 2 keys. And put that towards killing Argus, which would give him the crystal. Yeah, I agree with that, Akish. When your options are 2 checks versus clearing a crystal dungeon, always remember ABCD. Always be clearing crystal dungeons. I kind of agree with you, Wizard, but in this mode, if your choices are checking left side and having to make a pedestal play for the key to kill Argus, I would go kill Argus 100% of the time. Oh, nice little bit of again, these 2 players just showing how well they know this game by pulling off these little tricks that really add up. And Plasma's gonna be able to go kill Mothula. GFE picks up his small key of Skull Woods, which will put Mothula in play for him. But at this point, you kill Mothula is going to be one of the last things on his to-do list. Most likely. Especially since it's dependent. Yeah, definitely. Although, if that left side does have progression, Plasma's in a good place to capitalize on the best, since he already has 2 pendants. Yes, Stayman HS. This is key drop mode. So keys that are usually static, like enemy drops or pickups from pots, have been taken away and moved into their general item pool. So you kill Ball and Chain Guard, you might get 3 bombs, you might get a sword, but you will not get that guaranteed Hyrule Castle big key. Same goes for like Swamp Palace. You pick up the pod to get the small key to unlock this door here. That could be anything, but that small key's been moved out into the general item pool. Yes, between both what we know from both players, the Ice Rod is the only thing that's missing for Go mode. And Plasma is likely going to... Well, we're a key short, so... We'll see where this goes. I thought Plasma had enough keys to go through the Argus. I don't think we have Pod Big yet from either player. But I could be mistaken. Okay, so Plasma's in Eastern Palace now, so he will be finding his Fire Rod here, which would be a good pickup. That'll open up a lot of opportunities. Meanwhile, GFE has made his way through the bulk of the gauntlet. We'll see what we find in those final 4 checks. Okay, so I was right. Pod Big has not been found yet. Okay, we got a small key to Thieves Town, which I believe makes that fully clearable now. Yeah, we'll see if that Castle Tower key that Plasma just picked up maybe nudges him in that direction. Because if he feels inclined to chase that key, he would find his hook shot, which would put him just 9 away from go mode. GFE is also technically 1 item away from go mode as far as items go, but his hook shot and Fire Rod are not in progression, or in logic, sorry. Oh, looks like GFE is going to go chase that small key, what's usually a small key, after the compass room. Now, I can't imagine Plasma's happy with that Fire Rod. Kind of a odd place to find it. Yep, so Plasma is going to go chase that Castle Tower key he found in Eastern Palace, and he's going to be rewarded with his hook shot. And Ether Medallion. You don't see this room very often in Randomizer. Nice little bit of maneuver in there. Is GFE checking the big chest? Yeah, GFE is going to check the big chest. I thought maybe he was going to go pick up that small key under the pot. And it's a key up to Aga, so Plasma's gonna get stopped. Coincidentally, Plasma is in Castle Tower. Unfortunately, is gonna find out here he cannot progress to Aga. But I don't think that might not be his goal. He's just seeing what that red guard has drop. Alright, so a lot of dungeons open up for Plasma now. Oh, we got a bit of a high five. And cross keys. You don't see this very often. Both players are right on top of each other in a cross keys game. Hour and 47 minutes in. Yes, Powder was in Hera in the compass chest. Alright, looks like GFE is going to give us a clear of Thieves Town. I cannot remember where Bat is behind, to be honest. Oh, both players in Thieves Town. Wow, this is odd sync up in a cross keys game. Just a small key to Skullwoods, which I think that, no. GFE has no small keys to get the Mothula. That's just extra at this point. Alright, GFE making their way to Blind. The Swamp Palace. Which, I think puts everything in place except for either Argus or left side. But of course, given the choice, you're definitely going to go kill Argus versus gambling left side, because doing left side commits you to a pedestal play, and I know this, if you're looking to put on a show for the chat, you know, kudos for the showmanship, but not a good play for winning races. Alright, GFE finishes his blind fight just as Plasma is starting his. Blind drops a key to Desert Palace. Alright, so that is dungeon number 2 for GFE, and that is dungeon number... Technically both the same number of crystals, but Plasma has also cleared Ice Palace and Skull Woods. We'll see if that adds up to any advantage, depending on what's on left side swamp. Yep, GFE finds his second boot. Poor Link, unfortunately, on his way out of his uncle's house, only forgot to put one shoe on, and has just been running around Hyrule with only one shoe on. That's the lore of this mode, by the way. Some deep lore. It's very important lore, Kaizen. Ooh, and the half magic right before Landmo, so that's a nice pickup. Not necessarily beat the C, especially for players of this skill level, but no one ever says no to half magic. But don't you want to know why Link only starts the game with one boot and has to find the other? Yep, Plasma uses Landmo for some archery practice. Kills him just one cycle. That is Plasma's third crystal. And really, the game is, except for Trinex, the game is wide open for Plasma right now. So, regardless of the mode, we got ourselves an Ice Rod hunt. The Ice Rod is inevitable. Yeah, that would, Ice Rod being on left side swamp would be just fun to watch. Not fun to play, but fun to watch. Exactly, Wizard knows what I'm talking about. Alright, GFE is making his way through Ice Palace, most of all of which we've already seen. Well, GFE will be able to show us one check in Ice Palace that we did not see from Plasma, and that would be the big chest. So I don't believe Plasma had that big key through his trip through Ice Palace. So if something important is on... Let's say the Ice Rod is on the big chest of Ice Rod, then that is a very substantial pickup for GFE. Alright, let's see what's on this big chest. It's a big key to Pod. Ooh, that is a big pickup for GFE. It is not likely that Plasma's come back there anytime soon. So, huge pickup. We'll see how long it takes Plasma to retrace his steps back to Ice Palace, but I can't imagine he's going back there anytime soon. He's going to clear everything else, dungeon-wise, before he goes back to Ice Palace. So all other things being equal, I would say that gives GFE a bit of a lead, because that's going to be a final item that Plasma just does not have access to at the moment. And that is crystal number 4. I can't count. For Plasma. That's why I'm not the tracker. I'm not good with numbers. I just talk. And even that's debatable on the quality. And GFE shows off a little bit of technique by using the fire rod and sword beams in tandem to use half as many fire rod shots to melt Cold Stare's shell. So in terms of dungeons cleared, Plasma does have the advantage, but GFE has that ever-important Pod Big Key in the Ice Palace Big Chest that Plasma was forced to skip over the first time because he did not have the Ice Palace Big Key. So we'll see how long it takes for Plasma to come back to that. Meanwhile, though, Plasma's going to give us a full clear of Tower of Hera, get his magic powder, get his tempered sword. And while we get a little bit of break in the action, also just feel free to follow our racers, Plasma Kappa and GFE12. Give a follow to my tracker, Akuhish. Give a follow to myself if you feel so inclined. And follow the Speed Gaming Network channels. Speed Gaming's 1 through 6. Speed Gaming German, French, Spanish. Whatever language of your choice. I'm sure there's others. I don't know them off the top of my head. Thank you for the command in chat. Oh no, Plasma does not have the Tower of Hera Big Key, so no tempered for Plasma yet. I might have made some assumptions there. Yeah, so lack of big keys is hampering Plasma's progress, unfortunately. Meanwhile, speaking of big keys, GFE's going to take his pod big key home. Looks like Plasma is going to go to the Compass Room. We'll see if he follows that up with the Gauntlet Climb. I would imagine so. If you're here, you're pretty committed to the full clear of Gan's Tower. And for those of you who've been here since the beginning, thank you for listening to me talk for what's going on 2 hours straight with no rest. I assume you were talking about Plasma Kappa Sprite. Link does not have a body. He is just a headless sprite wandering the world of Hyrule. which really makes you wonder how he's using the boots. Some more lore discussion. I appreciate the compliment, Lana Bean. Yeah, stay tuned for my next video. Why does Headless Link Sprite need boots? Ooh, GFE I think is going through the Pod Basement Dark, which is always a fun little challenge. Of course, at this point with Red Mail, Tempered Sword, and Fire Rod, of course, makes it pretty simple. That's a... yeah, I'm surprised as well. No climb from Plasma. Thinking maybe he's gambling on... Why does he not really have that many dungeons left at his disposal? He could at Eastern, which would open up head play, pedestal play, but... I guess maybe he's going to the front of Turtle Rock to get the front 3 chests. It's always weird seeing Turtle Rock in reverse. Not something you see outside of Cross Keys. Alright, so GFE gets his 4th crystal. Not leaving anything to chance, going back in for the full clear. Fortunately, getting bullied by Mini Helma along the way. Oh, there's our Ice Rod. Ice Rod in Turtle Rock. How about that? So item-wise, that is go mode for Plasma Kappa. Unfortunately, Plasma is just missing that ever-important Palace of Darkness big key from the Ice Palace big chests. So, unfortunately, that's gonna put a damper on his progress. Yeah, Plasma is opting to just take the back door rather than go through the dark room again. Although he has a lamp, so it's all relative anyway. Yeah, there are just some universal rules of rando. Ice Rod and Turtle Rock. Palace of Darkness keys locking other Palace of Darkness keys. I believe this is Mishimire from GFE. That was Swamp. I knew it was Dungeon, couldn't remember which one. So that I think, to the best of my knowledge, that kills the pedestal play for anyone who is, and by anyone I mean everyone in chat. Because let's be honest, we all want it. Plasma Cap jumping the gun, pulling the trigger a little too early on the item use, and says opts to tickle Trinex with a lamp shot. Alright, so that's crystal number 6 for Plasma Kappa. So you look at the crystal count and you think the super clear advantage is Plasmas, but unfortunately, just with that missing Pulse Darkness Big Key, we'll see if he can find it before GFE catches up in the crystal count. That's Plasma's advantage right now, is that he's got 6 crystals. Meanwhile, GFE still has to go kill Mothula, Argus, and Vitreous. Yeah, so we'll see how long it takes Plasma to come back to that pod key. A lot of conventional rando wisdom would tell you that going all the way back to Ice Pal's big chest is probably pretty low on Plasma's priority list. Yeah, it's a definite possibility it could be a last location. We'll it's in Rando's hands now. Oh, GFE's out Swamp Smalls. Thank you, Lana. I did not catch that. Yeah, that's another roadblock. Oh, Plasma's opting for the GT climb. GFE finds a small key, but not the small key he needs. At least not the one he needs right now. I might be referencing something. That is true, XCOM, yeah. I would definitely jump back in the Ice Palace before I go make a pedestal play for Left Side Swamp. So yeah, not quite last location, but I would imagine it's gotta be pretty low on his priority list to go back and check. Meanwhile, I think GFE is out hunting for that Swamp Small. Which I could not tell you outside of the one that we know of on pedestal. I could not tell you where that second to last Swamp Small key is. Yes, Drosy, we're in no mode. All Plasma is missing is the big key to Palace of Darkness, which is on the Ice Palace big chest. Unfortunately, Plasma did not have that big key on his way through the first time. Meanwhile, GFE has missing the Ice Rod, but he has pod cleared. Oh yeah, minor big. Okay, so yeah, I'm again, bear with me. I've been talking nonstop for 2 hours and 11 minutes now. I appreciate chat keeping me honest here. Right, GFE is likely about to get their lamp, which is going to put pretty much everything they've done until now into logic. Ice Rod is in Turtle Rock in the Crystal Roller, not the Crystal Roller chests. It's a room with crystal rolls. I don't know what it's called. I could not tell where Meyer Big is. Oh, okay. Well, there's a Meyer Big. So, the lamp is more of a consolation prize at this point. Alright, so that's going to put everything except Trimax into logic for GFE. And GFE's going to find that Ice Rod goes to Turtle Rock anyway. I think this is Ice Palace. Nope, Tower of Hera. Ice Rod is in Turtle Rock in the front, past the Fire Rod room. Palace Sergeant's Big Key is on the Ice Palace Big Chest. Well, Plasma gets his Tempered Sword, which will be nice for the eventual fight with Ganon. Not that there's any consequence to the skill level of the two racers here, but we do have a gold sword that's still at large. But like, that's of little consequence. And for anyone who's following, we do have a few finishes so far in the race room. Furious Magic has finished in first place with 2:09.57. Wall Kicks has finished in second with 2:13.20, and 12 seconds behind him is Megawatts with 2:13.32. We've had forfeits from Homemade Beer and Homewrecker as well. Oh, speaking of Homemade Beer, welcome to the chat, Homemade Beer. You're here to join me 2 hours and 15 minutes into me shouting to just to myself. And all the 100+ people here in chat. Alright, that is crystal number 5 for GFE. Oh, Plasma's getting his pod big key, so we're back in business race-wise. Shotbag Boy, if you're ever interested in once a year, the hosts of the Go Mode podcast host a mentor tournament where they pair newer players up with seasoned runners. They help. They run a tournament style, usually about 64 entrants, and they help show you the some of the ropes of how to play rando well. It's a very, I think it's a very important tool of this community. It's a very, very valuable service that that Timp, Dante, and Herfy offer over at the Go Mode Podcast. Alright, so Plasma is taking that big key and just taking it right to Helma, so Plasma's right back in it. Yeah, for anyone who's interested in that mentor tournament, follow the Go Mode Podcast. They've got their own Discord channel. They do episodes every 2 weeks. Like I said, that mentor tournament. If you're looking to get into rando, looking to get down your time, there are people. The Links to the Past Randomizer community is one of, if not the most supportive gaming community I've ever been a part of. And the people there will help you to the best of their abilities. Is GFE going to go fight Aga? Yeah, we're getting an Aga battle from GFE. Alright, that is crystal number 7 for Plasma Kappa. So now he's just got to make his way over to Ganon, and that will be GG for him. Okay, so the Ganon drop down was over at the bat. I remember finding it early on, I just couldn't quite remember where. Alright, again, silver arrows, tempered sword. This should be a nice, clean, easy Ganon fight. Or is it? I would be forced to guess at this point that Bat is under Lumberjack. Maybe that's what JV's going for. That just occurred to me. Yeah, that's like, I don't know how much of the body mass the head takes up, but like that's a lot less for a Ganon to aim at. Or a lot more? I don't know. Ooh, Ganon intercepts the Fire Rod shot. But Link roasts the pig. So Plasma Kappa roasts the pig, defeats Ganon with an official race time here of... I'm jumping the gun here. 2:21:22. So that would be good for 4th place overall in the race room. Get your GGs in the chat for Plasma Kappa, who is also joining us here in the chat. GG Kappa.
GG.
I've been soloing calm this entire time, so this seems mostly a blur to me. Any particular thoughts on what happened today?
IP Big Chest. The classic.
Oh yeah, I've been burned by that one plenty of times.
I was very focused on finding IP with my 6 IP smalls. You know, I'm not gonna go back for that ever. So instead, we do everything but Thieves Town, Big Chest, and Spike Cave, which I think are the only other things I can do.
Yeah, we spent a significant amount of time wondering if maybe it would show the pod big or the ice rod would show up on the left side of the swamp, forcing the head play. Luckily, Seed wasn't that cruel.
Yeah, I tried to wait for that EP big for a very long time, and in the end, never found.
Yep. So definitely, it's definitely a close race for a good chunk. Okay, GFE just found his big Eastern key. That's something you don't see very often. Hook speeding through Spike Cave in reverse.
Yeah, I would have done that, but I had no bottles.
Yeah, it's a pretty dry seed for bottles for the most part.
Well, if it's in Spike Cave, that probably saved me time because I would have gone back and done Eastern for sure.
You found Ganon's Tower pretty early on, which had a treasure trove of items.
Yep.
Including a useless flute, but mitts, mirror, book, all in GT. That definitely gave you a good edge for a good chunk of the game.
Yeah, imagine. Maybe the mirror. If you're a risk taker and skip tile room, or you don't have the cane. I thought maybe the mirror could be a problem.
And so GFE is making his way through the front of Turtle Rock, where he will find his ice rod to take to Trinex.
Yeah, that is a very awful ice rod because of where the front is.
Yeah, that's a bit of a chore to get to. If he's being bullied by a berry.
Eventually I was just down to the rest of GT and going backwards through TR, and well, I tried to put off the climb for a little bit, but in the end, I'm obviously going to do that before Ice Palace Big Chest.
Yeah, we were saying like obviously with Ice Palace Big Chest, that's probably gonna be pretty low on your priority list to go back and check. Because I lost track. I don't know exactly how much was left after the Ice Palace Big Chest.
Yeah, Thieves Town Big and Spike Cave were the only things I could do, and IP is easier to get back to than either of those, I think.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yes, I mostly remembered all of the key drop stuff except for Hyrule Castle. I thought 3 keys was enough to get everything, but you need 4 keys.
Yeah, Hyrule Castle, bit of a hassle for both of you throughout the seed.
Yeah, I just did not want to go into places without keys. So that means no hook, no fire rod for a bit.
Yeah, that was something GFE actually ended up finding both of those pretty early, the Fire Rod and Hookshot in the dark, but didn't find the lamp until very recently. I can't remember exactly when.
Yeah. Very nice. I was saving MM for having fire, and then I get fire and the MM big key. It's like, okay.
Oh, Wallkick's got his Swamp Small off pedestal.
It's the pro way to do it.
Yeah, who doesn't love a good old-fashioned pedestal play?
Yeah. I was unsure if I wanted to keep my Swamp Small from right side desert, but it was kind of breaking my brain for a bit, but I decided to keep it. Because I can save that and could do DP backwards 3 out of the 4. But I need 5 Swamp Smalls to finish that, so it's very weird.
Yeah, this is an interesting game mode. This is my first time even experiencing it, so it's been a trip for me as well.
Yes, the first time I played it, I got very burned by Swamp and its restrictive key layout. Now I know that you need 5 to get to Argus.
Yeah, that got GFE. He went all the way to Argus with without the last key needed.
Yeah.
I can guarantee I would have bailed on this a long time ago. I'm passable at best at cross keys in general before you factor in the key shuffle.
And another thing is I kept getting put off by my compass counts because obviously I wasn't picking up any useless dropped items, and that messed with the compass count. So double checking with that was not helpful.
I don't remember Fishbone Room having anything incoherent. I could very well be wrong though.
I think it had a Swamp Small.
Did okay.
Think it's like just kind of want a Fishbone Room to have something because it's Fishbone Room.
Yeah, like how you never you never see Fishbone Room in a regular playthrough. Alright, Argus is dead for GFE. That was crystal number 6 for him. Meanwhile, in the race room, by a split second, Koi finishes in 5th place, with Matt7898 a literal second behind him. Oh, yeah, GFE did kill Mothula, so yeah, we're, Mothula's a pendant. Let my, I've been talking nonstop for 2.5 hours. I'm losing my train of thought.
Yeah.
Alright, and GFE has roasted the pig. Get your GGs in the chat for GFE 12. And GFE 12 finishes with an official race time of 2:32.32, which will put him in 7th place behind Matt7898 in the race. Still waiting for 6 players to finish. I think we'll probably be seeing GFE here in just a moment. And while we're waiting for... Oh, never mind. Here's GFE. GG, GFE.
GG.
Hey, GG's. That location's gonna wreck just about anybody. That's a recipe for a lot of different times in this seed.
Yeah, a lot of, especially in Hyrule Castle and Swamp, the key hijinks really led to a lot of false starts.
Yeah, I was actually very irritated with Swamp because I had apparently marked, like when I got the Swamp Big, I didn't realize I got it. I had marked it as a Swamp Small on my tracker. So I went to Swamp thinking I had 5, and I didn't. So when I went in there and saw 4, I was very concerned, and I just hoped there'd be one inside Swamp, which of course there wasn't. And when I'd gone back through the connector to Bumper Ledge the second time, or I think it was the third time actually, when I was going to Thieves Town, I meant to mirror and check the Light World bumper, but I jumped down before I meant to, and then it was too late, so that wrecked me, since that had the Desert Small leading to my 5th Swamp Small.
Yeah, that Desert as well. Now, one thing you had throughout the majority of the seed, you found the hook shot and fire rod pretty early out of logic, which definitely helped for a lot.
Yeah. Tried to put off EP as usual.
What was your go mode, Kappa? Was it also Ice Rod?
It was Pod Big.
I can't remember where that was.
I was in the Ice Palace Big Chest, so you know, I found Ice Palace pretty early with 6 smalls.
Did you have the big?
I did not.
Oh man. I don't think I ever found the 6 small, but I found the big like super early, I feel like. I don't know.
Yeah, I found IP Big immediately after I beat IP. Because, of course.
Gotcha. No, I got wrecked so bad by the Ice Rod. I'd already been to the front of TR up to the Pokey, and I decided I'd just check the front when I found the front, which conveniently in this seed was impossible. You can't find the front before you beat the dungeon. So
I didn't even think about that until you just said it just now.
yep, because TR was a 5-6. So thanks, game. Thanks for that.
Thanks, Rando. Very cool.
Very. Well, at least I had to check it before climbing GT for my Noctine.
Yeah. I climbed GT, did AGA. Nice lamp, by the way. I'm still not sure where the final Hyrule Castle Small was. I never found it.
I thought 3 was enough, so I guess I got it somewhat early. And getting hard stuck all of a sudden. Then getting my Maya Care package.
I full cleared what I could admire without the big key. Actually, I think I full cleared everything except big chest. and Biddy with when I went in, and I don't remember anything notable being in there, so it was pretty disappointing. I also made just a few mental errors. It's been a while since I've done a key drop, and so, like in Meyer, I forgot to pick up the pot next to the spike chest, so I had to go back in for that. And in Thieves Town, I was going to route smart and not dash up and grab the key pot. I was just going to grab it before blind, and then of course I didn't, so I had to go back into Thieves Town to go back to that key pot.
Yeah, I ended up having the big key but no smalls, so I just warped at that key pot on the skeleton.
Okay, yeah, first time I went in I didn't have the big key, and then when I finally went back I had all 3 smalls, so I was a little disappointed in the big chest. It was a small key, but it was just a Meyer small, so I was sad, because I could easily see people skipping that.
Yeah, I skipped that. Never found the third.
I don't remember where I did. Nice to see that the last Swamp Small was on Ped. Very classy.
Yeah, we were trying to bet on the possibility of Ice Rod or Pod Big being on left side swamp before we found them both.
Yeah, for me this was also just like lack of magic, the seed, because when I found Ice Palace I wanted to go in because the seed was screaming Ice Palace, but I had no magic. And then when I found Spike Cave I wanted to clear it, which ended up just being bait anyway, but I had no magic. When I went to open the Turtle Rock entrance I had no magic because I was stupid in Skullwoods. Although that one I was happy I at least got to show off the Samaria refill.
Yeah, we were all very impressed by that, chat and me.
Yeah, I was sitting there, I was like, okay, I really don't want to leave this because this is awful to get back to. Killed an enemy or two hoping for a drop, and then I was like, I've got enough, I can use Samaria. I've never done this before, but I know how it's supposed to work, so I was glad it worked.
And then me being a relative newbie to the game still, I had to explain Antler manipulation to chat, which is fun.
I don't know that I understand it, to be honest. Just put a lot of things on screen and hope it works right.
Yep.
Oh man.
I appreciate you two talking amongst yourselves. I've been solo calming this for the past 2.5 hours, so my throat is shot.
Yeah.
Solo calming this mess that's a job, man. So GG's to you on that.
Yep.
Thank you. I had a good time.
And GG's to our tracker, because keeping up with this mess
Yep.
can't be fun.
GG's.
Yeah, so on that note, definitely, like I said several times before, give both our racers a follow. GFE12, Plasma Kappa. Give my tracker, Akuhish, who's definitely putting a lot of work tonight, tracking this for all of you. And feel free to give me a follow if you feel so inclined. Feel free to follow all the Speed Gaming channels, Speed Gaming 1 through 6, and several other European language Speed Gaming channels, English, French, Spanish, German, and I believe there's a few others. Any final thoughts on the race or the seed?
I don't think so. Just appreciate all everybody does for this, and it's always nice to get to show off a nonsensical mode like this one. So hope chat enjoyed it.
It was fun. I definitely do another.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun mode. It's definitely feels like an expert's mode for the higher level players to kind of show off some skills.